In today's world, workplace stress is not only common, but can be extremely debilitating to the point that it can derail your life. Fortunately, workers' compensation is available for stress-related illnesses, and I'll briefly highlight what you need to know in order to determine whether you have a valid claim. In Australia, over 3 days per worker every year are lost due to workplace stress, and stress-related workers' compensation claims are certainly rising at a rapid rate. Despite the obvious increase in claims, so many people are suffering under the weight of toxic work environments and are unaware of their entitlements, which would go a long way to helping them get their life back on track. What is workplace stress? Workplace stress is the harmful physical and emotional responses that can result when the demands or events at work exceed the worker's ability to cope. And by demands or events, I mean things like bullying, harassment, working dangerous hours, intimidation, or witnessing a traumatic event. We all know that an employee can take paid sick leave when they can't work because of a personal illness or injury. This can include stress-related illnesses. But I'm often asked, can you claim workers' compensation for stress? Unfortunately, if you make a workers' compensation claim for stress alone, it's likely to be denied. But you're more likely to have it accepted if you make a claim for a stress-related condition, which is referred to as a psychological injury. So it's important to be open to your GP so that they can correctly diagnose your psychological injury. The most common stress-related workers' compensation claims in New South Wales are for post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD, depression, anxiety, and adjustment disorder. When it comes to psychological injury claims, there are two things you always need to prove in order to be successful. Firstly, the injury occurred during the course of your employment, and secondly, work was a significant contributing factor, meaning the stress could not have been primarily caused by things like family issues, health, or financial problems. If you develop a psychological condition, you could be eligible for a lump sum payout if you make a successful claim for workers' compensation and have been assessed as having 15% permanent damage on a scale known as whole person impairment, and it's been accepted by the insurer or personal injury commission. It's important to note that it can be difficult to prove liability if you cannot show evidence that your psychological injury and workplace stress was caused by the work environment. So it's always best to reach out to a specialist workers' compensation lawyer, even if it's just for free advice, to determine whether you have a valid claim. Hopefully, this has been helpful to you. But if you're still unsure about claiming workers' compensation for stress-related conditions or need help with your claim, call Law Partners and have a confidential conversation with one of our specialist workers' compensation lawyers today.